Okay, now we're going to get to the part that I really want you to look at is I want you to now look and think about, based on these classes you saw up here, what core classes you needed and what engineering classes you needed. I want you to think about what you need to do while you're still at high school. So if you click on this part, you're going to fill in this form. First of all, you can circle or just delete off the ones that you aren't so that I know which grade you're currently in. Then go through and fill in the columns of what you've already done. So if you're already a sophomore, you should be able to fill in freshman and sophomore classes. Put your cores where they go here, and then fill in your electives. If you happen to have 2 math classes, just put the second math on an elective, that's fine. You should have all 8 of these slots filled out for all the ones you've already taken. Then, I want you to fill out what you're planning to take the next years. I want you to really look at, did you have statistics in your degree plan? Should you take it here? What maths are you going to take so that you're ready to head right to college? And so on. Fill out all 4 years of this. If you happen to be a senior, that's going to be easy. You just fill out everything you've already got and you're done. I want you to also think about, based on what kind of classes you were taking before, or what kind of classes you had on your degree plans, especially here, what is your next step for engineering? You may find it helpful to look at this link right here for this Project Lead the Way flowchart. Which lists your next steps. Your next 3 choices are taking Aero, which Aero really is kind of like a dynamics class. So if you had a dynamics class in your engineering, that might be one way to go. If you have statics classes, civil engineering and architecture is more on the statics range, so things that aren't moving. And then digital electronics, if you had any electrical classes. All 3 of these have a prerequisite that you've finished and passed IED and POE before you take these 3. If you've done 3 other classes already, so IED, POE, and one of these choices, then you can also have EDD as a choice next year. You need to be a senior and have taken 3 different Project Lead the Way classes in order to get an EDD. It's a class where it's kind of self-paced, and basically what you do in that class is you design you get in a team, and then you design a project from scratch all the way through. Start with your engineering design process, and you do all the steps in the process all the way to presenting it to people from industry and so on. In the past, there have been cases where people have actually gone on to use these same projects and continued them in college, and even ended up having them be made into something else again. So that's another option there. So I want you to go ahead and think about what next engineering classes you're going to be taking as you move forward. I've included a little information here. If you're a senior this year, you just needed 3 Project Lead the Way classes for your academy. Everyone else needs 4 Project Lead the Way classes total for the endorsements. And if you don't have all your prerequisites, you're going to either need to have teacher approval, either me or the new Project Lead the Way teacher. It is also possible to double up and take more than 1 class at a time. Very often we do have people that take more than one of these at the same time, or you could take one of these plus an EDD at the same time. You can take as many as fit in your schedule. So go through and fill in all this for the 4 years. When you get done with it, print it out and turn it in. The last thing you need to do is go to this form and fill out this form. This way, we want you to go ahead and fill this all out, fill out what classes you're taking this year and what classes you're going to take next year. Or if you're not going to take classes next year because you're a senior or you're just not continuing engineering. We use this information so that we can let the administration, the principals, know how many kids want to take each class next year, and we have a better idea of what classes we'll get. So this is why this information is super important, that you fill this out and you really have a good idea of what you're interested in taking. That way we can make sure, or do our best to make sure, that those classes are available for you next year. Alright, so fill all that out, get it done.